Hey guys, we're here with 15 Minecraft mods for 1.20.1, and let's get it. The first mod we're going to be looking at is called Winter Wonders. This mod spawns a biome with a few different creatures that you can find, and some of them you have to fight, like these guys, these Revenant. Plus, it also has a penguin, a frost blaze. Someone else's mod adds is a new armor set, a wand, and some tools. So the armor set is crafted like so. And it looks like this, a really nice looking set. Plus it adds this thing that you make like so. So this mod adds cold resistance, and with these tools and stuff you can get the effect chilling onto you, and then cold resistance stops you from taking damage with it. So the way you make the wand is pretty simple. You find some of the stuff from killing these guys, or just stuff like that. Like these guys drop stuff too. The next mod we'll be looking at is called Choup's Drakvryn. In this mod you will also find this tower. In this tower, you would like to go to the top. At the top of the structure, you'll find this, but don't click on it. So I brought this egg down, and I'm gonna do like so. So then I right click it, like so, and it should spawn a dragon. So it spawns a dragon like so, and I'll have to keep feeding it this meat right here. After a lot of meat, you'll finally be able to tame him, and you'll have the staying thing right there. So you can't really pick him up or anything like that. So this ring right here, you can use to control this guy right here after you feed him a bunch of meat. And then if you right click him, it'll change what he's doing. So if I like spawn this guy and I attack him, then my dragon will attack him because he says aggressive right there. He's a bit dumb. So then if I right click him again, he's rideable. So then I can just right click him again to fly on him. He's got some really weird controls. So if I look right here, so the downwards area, the down arrow is to fly down. Up arrow is to fly up. This mod also adds a bunch of different colors of dragons, and each dragon you can kill to get their scales. With those scales, you can make an armor set. Before we go up to the next mod, I forgot to say, so you make this frozen meat on a bone, and you can find this guy in like a certain type of structure. But then you give him these, and you can actually tame him with it. So eventually, after a while, I'll tame him, and I just get a rideable thing, but I can't like change his settings on where he goes. Like that, but this is a Drozen. This mod is called Nebulus Plains Trader. So we're gonna take a look inside of this place. So in this place, you have just like a bunch of decoration, and each one of these has some, I don't know how to say, some of this juice. I think it's juice. Some food, like that has great effects. But you also get cheese. You get wolf pelt, which I don't actually know what you use wolf pelt for. But usually each one of these has some loot of the sort. These also have loot in them. If you want some cheese, which cheese is pretty nice. So is this thing. But if you want to trade with this guy, you could give him emeralds for these things, or milk for cheese. This place also has a second and third floor, and in this third floor, you actually get a blacksmith up here. So you can just trade him for some of the tools, stuff like this, that you can actually find with this mod. We're going to be looking at mob foods next, and with this mod, it has a different type of food for random stuff. And some of them are really hard to make and aren't really worth it. So like this thing, dragon egg in a glass bottle to make a soft boiled dragon egg. Then you can get this spaghetti and meatballs, which you make from spider's eye and string. But honestly, that'd be pretty nice. Come in handy. And you got slime jello. The totem popsicle, like so. I think it's just sugar, a stick, and a totem, and I don't think that this matters. I think that's accidentally like that. Then you got this thing from just smelting a knowledge shell. A wither skull salad, which I don't know how to make. It doesn't show me. Then you can make the shulker soup, the chorus fruit in a shulker style. You can make a nether star lollipop, nether star sugar and stick. And you can make an ender pearl ice cream, which honestly sounds kind of good. I would actually have this. I wonder, will this teleport you right if I ate it? Oh, it's not like chorus fruit. Is this like chorus fruit? Oh, it gives me levitation. It also adds a few other things like this phantom cake, phantom pie, sorry. The phantom pie, gas tier, popsicle. The rotten flash jerky, the magma cream and the bagel, and just adds a bit of unconventional foods, but some of them honestly would be pretty useful to have. Like if you really need it, you can have this rotten flash jerky, and honestly this would be pretty nice because it's better than rotten flesh in general. Adventures Plus is the next mod we'll be looking at. With this mod, it spawns a vast dungeon with a bunch of spawners and creatures you can fight. And also it adds multiple different levels, and each one has a chance to have a boss room. And I guess we found it right here. So this is the boss room right here. And you'll fight this guy. He has a lot of health, But after you kill him, you'll actually get this dark crystal, and this you can use it to make this dark core, which you use this dark core to make this dark staff. This dark staff isn't the craziest. Dark staff isn't the best weapon you'll find, but you can also hit multiple targets at once with it. So like there's 3 zombies right here. I can hit pretty much all 3 of them at the same time with using it. It has a short cooldown, but it's worth it. This mod also adds something else kind of random, but it makes it so you get this cage right here. You make like so, and you can actually put rabbits and stuff in it. We'll be looking at crystal caverns next. You'll be able to find multiple different golems. There's probably a golem for most colors that usually guards crystals. So for each crystal geode you find, including amethyst, you'll either have a babble or tool. So with the, I don't know how to say that. You can have a belt. I'll put this on my belt, and I don't know what it does. No idea. But then it also adds a cannon. Then amethyst makes it so you can have a sword. This thing looks pretty dope. And then you can also have this gauntlet. With jade, you can make a necklace. And with the jade, you can also make this jade edge sword. With Larimar, you can make a ring. I'll put it in the ring slot. And I also get this thing, which is actually just a shield. Plus, each of the crystals, you can make decorative blocks out of some stairs, some bricks, and so on. If you are a fan of random crazy swords, then this mod is for you. It's called Crazy Swords and adds a bunch of different weapons. Like so, adds stuff like this, like the bug sword, adds the hopper sword, the wool and glass sword, the poppy and a pot sword, cow sword. And we're just gonna be looking at a couple of them. So we got the cookie sword right here, which you make from these, a bunch of cookies. You got this one, which you make with sword essence, which you get from this guy that spawns in any biome. You get the cactus sword, you also make with this sword essence and some cactus, and then you also make a frozen stick, they make like so. Then you got the cow sword, they make with cow ingots, which you make cow ingots like that. Then we'll be looking at the snowman sword, which snow sword, snow block, and carved pumpkin. And you make snow sword with snow essence, a frozen stick, and some snow blocks. There's quite a few others, like this cake sword, and just a bunch of other crazy swords. They don't always do too much damage, but they're pretty funny to have. The next mod I'm going to be looking at is called Levias Corundums. With this mod, it adds 8 different ores. Basically all the same. They're all sapphire, except this one's ruby. But it adds 8 different sets. They all do the same thing, like have the same damage output and stuff like that. But we're going to be looking at a couple of these armors. So like this one, if I wear this blue sapphire set, it actually gives me water breathing. So each set gives its own bonus. So then I also really like this one. This one's just really cool looking in my opinion. But it gives me haste. That would be really nice. And then I think this one, I'm not too sure. Might be a different one. But this one gives me speed too. So honestly, if you're traveling around, you might want to use the green one right here. And then we're going to be looking at one more. So let's look at this one. The white sapphire one is, what does it give me? It gives me strength. So like if I really want to fight stuff and I want to go fight, then I should have this one. Each one of them is made from the ores pretty much. You just mine the ores and you get that. But something else, you get this table, you make like this, and with it you get this dude that's really far away. But with this dude you can make trades. You can trade some of the minerals you find into like gems of your choice. So you can either get emeralds or diamonds from just trading some rubies or some yellow sapphire. So if you want an ore mod that adds like a bunch of tools and armor, then this mod is a really cool mod that you might enjoy. Moonstone Other is the next mod we'll be looking at. With this mod, you basically will find dungeons like so. And in these dungeons, you can find these things, which you use these things to make this belt, and this belt is actually really important. Plus, you can also use these things to make other items like this. But this one basically reduces damage from explosions, like it says right there. Plus, you can also make this book, which adds a curious slot, or you can trade these balls to get emeralds. So with this belt right here, you will need this for these crystals right here. So these crystals you'll find in a bunch of structures, like you find this in dungeons, in end cities. But you'll have special abilities with these ones. You get a bunch of different crystals like so. You get some with fortune, like this one. Or you get this one, which has 30% more damage. You get this one, that's Fortune 2. And this one, which is attack damage, plus 5%, and plus 5% max health. Then you can put this on, and now my damage is higher in general. So then there's this thing, which is also about... this thing attracts zombies, but it will also make it so I do more damage to zombies. And this cube right here, you find in structures as well. But it's really, really good. So if I'll put it on my back right here. But so if I have armor on that has low durability, every 45 seconds, it'll repair a tiny bit of your armor you have on. But if you have a battery, so I have this one right here, it will last way shorter. So instead of 45 seconds, it'll be 15 seconds. We're going to be looking at these two items as well. So we get these evil flash from dungeons, and this thing also from a dungeon. But with this one right here, I can put potion effects on it. So if I just pick it up and I right click it, it'll put it in there. And I can put multiple different potions in there, and then eventually I can just drink this thing right here. So it just stores all my stuff. But then I can drink this thing, and all the potions that are in this thing will be put on me at once. But this thing right here, so if I click it, if I like eat it, because it was empty, it took away all my hearts, and even took away a heart in general. But if I put it back, it'll actually regain the hearts I lost, or the blood I lost. We'll be looking at the mod Paper Airplanes next. With this mod, you make a paper airplane, like so. And you can make this paper airplane in any color you want, or you can just keep the regular white. But with it, you could throw an airplane, and I think it does 3 hearts of damage, so it's kind of overpowered. 2 hearts, does 2 hearts. So honestly, it's really cheap, and it's just if you could spam them, then it's gonna definitely be a bit hard to defend against. We'll be looking at piranhas next. With piranhas, it basically adds piranhas that spawn in swamps and jungles, and they definitely attack you. They also jump pretty far out of the water. So something else that kind of sucks is if you're on a lily pad, they actually can break your lily pad. So if I'm standing on one, then I just hope they don't see me. We'll be looking at the mod Classic Airship next. With it, you need to make these 2 parts right here. So we make that like so. You make this like that. So pretty easy recipe. Then you combine those together with a boat and some string, and then you get this guy right here. This guy, you actually can fly, but you need to put coal right here, and I'll just stuff my other items in there. So this is the storage right here. You need to put coal right here to power it, but the WASD is what controls you. When you have coal, it'll keep flying, but when you don't have coal, you will not be going anywhere. And honestly, I don't know how to go down. So something you need to watch out for is water. Do not let this boat sink in the water, because then you just lost yourself a boat. Like I nearly did. I nearly lost this boat. Big in Mine is the next mod we're going to be looking at. With this mod, it adds a bunch of crystals. Mod doesn't add too much, but it adds a few different minerals. And with those minerals, you can make some of these swords and tools. Pretty simple to make, for the most part, I guess. But then with the other ores besides white diamond, you'll actually be able to make lamps with these, with most of the crystal types. It's pretty simple mod, and it also adds this furnace right here. It's like a better furnace. This furnace right here is a really good one. So you can put 3 different items in here, and you put coal in here, and you can actually basically cook all this at the same time. So it puts all in there. And honestly, it's a really nice, simple mod. Has some hanging skulls, some simple items, but this thing right here is probably my favorite part. The next mod is called Lumberjack Axe. With this mod, it adds a Lumberjack Axe, and you make it like so with these red alloy, which is made with redstone and iron. And honestly, this is a pretty nice axe. It breaks as fast as diamond, but it's definitely way cheaper than diamond, since it only really uses iron redstone. The final mod is called A Heart for You. With this mod, that's 2 different hearts that you make like so and so, but this one gives you absorption for 15 minutes, and then this one gives you 2 extra hearts. So if I go on survival, right now, and if I use this guy, I gotta eat it, and it gives me 2 permanent hearts that do not go away. And the max amount is a 2nd row of health, but sadly I cannot get farther than that. I mean, it's not a bad thing though. And then this one adds a full row of absorption, so you know. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, maybe hit that sub and like please. That would be much appreciated, and I might see you in the next one. Peace.